scandal. The size and scope maybe even larger than Benghazi.
Really? So
and Benghazi is huge. Huge. We'll get to that in a second. But this scandal is starting to break, and the Republicans are why they're not grabbing a hold of it. Not only why they're not grabbing a hold of it, but all those Republicans up there on the Hill, Congress and the Senate, they allowed this to happen underneath their noses. Okay, so check this out. During the time that Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, there was an increase in the defense contractors, money for defense contractors, an increase.
Okay.
They normally naturally get an increase, and Bush gave them a bunch of increases. Hillary alone gave them an increase of $75 billion.
Okay.
In defense contractor money allotted for that. During her tenure, what she would do is she would do something called pay to play.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
That
sounds pretty self-explanatory.
If you were a defense contractor and you wanted the Secretary of State to sign off on a defense contract, i.e. rockets, missiles, munitions, chemical.
Big contracts.
Chemical, biological, whatever you had, whatever arsenal you had. Boeing is in the middle of this big time.
Okay.
What Clintons would do, whether it was spoken or unspoken, and all you'd have to do is just follow the paper trail, is that if you said you'd be down to pay to play, then you get a defense contract. For example, and some of this is not illegal, but in total, and when you wrap it all up in one big giant ball, it's absolutely criminal. Bill Clinton went to Kuwait to speak on a speaking tour to the whole country of Kuwait. They went right there. He went there with Ben Affleck, Michael Bolton, Joe Scarborough. Right. Morning.
Joe Scarborough? You know, he's a huge Trump fan.
Yeah. Joe went with the Clintons to Kuwait for a speaking fee of $175,000 to Bill Clinton.
Okay.
Right after
That's actually kind of low. I heard that they get a lot more.
They get more, but this is Kuwait. They didn't have that much. And they didn't really want that much. No, I'm joking.
I was like,
okay.
What? Okay.
So Bill Clinton got a speaking fee of $175,000. Within a few weeks, Hillary gave permission for the Kuwaiti government to receive Boeing missiles and arms.
It's just a coincidence, right?
Well, but Kuwait is on the list for human rights violations. They're on the list. The Bush administration would never do business with this country like this. You don't send them stuff like that.
I thought Kuwait was who we rescued in the Gulf War.
No, we gave it back to ISIS. Okay. After that, another example that he gives, Bill Clinton gave another speak, and this was paid for by Goldman Sachs.
You mean Heidi Cruz's Goldman Sachs?
Oh, yes! The $1 million loan that Ted Cruz got from Goldman Sachs. Well, Goldman Sachs turned around and gave Bill Clinton $625,000 speaking engagement.
Okay.
Within a week, Beechcraft, which is a subsidiary of Goldman Sachs, owned by Goldman Sachs, receives a multi-billion-dollar contract for biological and chemical agents to Algeria, which is on the human rights violations for all kinds of atrocities, ranging from a murder and a disappearing of political dissidents to funding terrorist acts. I mean, it's just unbelievable the things that are going on over there, and yet these companies get billions of dollars to then send these countries more weapons of, whether mass destruction or not, but more weapons of destruction to kill, murder, and maim. This is all done by the Clinton Foundation. A lot of these companies will then send money directly to the Clinton Foundation, and then she would sign off on them.
So in return, as Secretary of State, she was signing off on munitions to them.
Right. Well, and remember the one deal?
Contracts to them.
Remember the one deal with the Russian, it was a Russian company that was trying to consolidate uranium. And so they were going around the world attempting to buy uranium companies.
Okay.
Well, there was a company out of Canada that Hillary Clinton had ties to and had interest in. That uranium sale, there was a tie with American people as well, had to be signed off. The deal had to be signed off by Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State for the purchase to Russia, which would make that Russian company owned by the Russian government the largest uranium depositor in the world. She went ahead and signed off on that one.
Of course she would. But she has an interest in it.
She had money in that company, interest in that sale of that company. She had interest in that.
Wow.
Absolutely.
The corruption is unbelievable.
There is a 150% increase in completed sales to nations that Bush would never do business with. The common thread of all these sales and all these deals, and there's a whole long list of them, the common thread to all of these is that money, they gave money to the Clinton Foundation. Money, money, money. If you gave money to the Clinton Foundation or to Clinton directly, you got the deal.
Oh, that is
all
scandalous.
All of them. And there's a new independent documentary out that hit Sundance just here recently called Clinton Cash. Clinton Cash. And it shows Hillary and Bill Clinton both in black and white with tape over their mouth. Literally, both of them selling anything and everything out to enrich everybody from their family to their friends to contractors to people they know to people who can get things done.
Now, is this a documentary? Is it a documentary?
The documentary is separate from this thing that David
Clinton Cash.
Sirota,
Oh, okay.
Sirota did this independent and started writing about it and started finding out all these details.
They tried to squash this documentary thing, right?
They certainly did. They also tried to squash the documentary of Grucifer. Or not the documentary, but the interview that NBC did with Grucifer on hacking Hillary's emails. Right. They sat on that interview and wouldn't air it.
Oh, geez. So they're trying to suppress that.
Yes.
Wow, and they're trying to keep the documentary from coming out during a election year, which is a clear violation of the First Amendment.
Yes, absolutely. So moving right on through the scandals of the scandalous, Hillary Clinton, there's a guy who calls himself Grucifer, which is kind of funny. Instead of Lucifer,
right,
puts a G in front.
Yeah, when you first said that he was being interviewed, I was like, did you say that name correctly?
Right. It's like when the car first came to America. Hyundai. Whoa.
Hyundai.
Did you just mispronounce Honda?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, what's a Hyundai?
When we were kids, when we were young,
right.
Teenagers, like Hyundai. What dog? Okay, no, he calls himself Grucifer, and he's an international hacker. And he said, "Oh yeah, I breached the Clinton server. Yeah, it was easy." He would breach Hillary Clinton's email server. He would take her emails and he would post them out on the internet. And he said he was the one that started to break the news that she was during Benghazi, the night of Benghazi, when she said that she didn't know anything about her, didn't do anything about it, didn't email, did nothing. And by the way, Trump called it out. At 3 a.m., she was sleeping. She went to bed on Benghazi.
I cannot believe that.
So the email she sent out to her, her underling, the one that that Obama and the administration wouldn't allow her to bring in as an advisor. Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, she was told that she couldn't bring this individual on board.
Sid Blumenthal.
That's it. Because he was such a criminal, a corrupt criminal, an awful person. So he couldn't bring him on board, and she said, "Okay, I didn't have anything to do with it." Well, Grucifer actually exposed that you were emailing him this entire time, and you were emailing Sid Blumenthal during Benghazi while it was going down, and you knew it was going down.
And was a stand-down order given? It's a big question.
That is something they're not releasing right now. But just real quick before I get into it, you are listening to SmithRadio.com. Smith Radio with Brian Smith and Kerry Smith. That's SMYTH. You can be a part of the show, 772-49-SMITH, SMYTH. Find us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Smith Radio. And follow us on Twitter at Smith Radio, because we're all over the place for you. Okay, Grucifer, hacker in Europe, in Romania.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, dude. Everybody that used to be back in the day hackers were out of like Libya.
Mm-hmm.
No, Nigeria.
Oh, right.
Everybody was out of Nigeria.
Those were the scam people.
Right. They were all out of Nigeria. No. Dude, it is Romania. I know it for a fact. I used to have a contact in Romania.
Oh, so do I.
Oh, okay.
I have a contact in Romania.
Yeah, but like he would do nefarious things.
Well, the guy he's in America now, but it's kind of getting off on a sidetrack. He's a programmer.
Well, they all are.
Isn't that weird? So he's a programmer from Romania, and he has the people that do the programs, that actually do the code, they're in Romania.
Right.
He's in America, and he sells.
Oh, that guy that did for the apps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He does website programming and some apps, but he'll tell you what he can do, and you tell him what you want. And then he does it for you. But he's here in America. He's in Ohio, actually. But the people that do the actual labor are in Romania. He's from Romania, because we talked about, what he's
dude, that's
what
amazing.
It's like. Yeah.
So Grucifer in Romania, he says in this interview that was never to be aired. Yeah, I'd wake up in the morning, get a cup of coffee, stroll over to my computer. Got to look at what's going on. Got to look at Hillary's emails. And he said he would watch it as if it was like a soap opera. Like you'd watch a regular TV show. It was so entertaining to him. He would go to it, look at it, see if he could see stuff. Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I can't believe that he would not try. Like, did he not recognize the monetary value of this to, like let's say, somebody like Vladimir Putin? Like if you were to say, "Hey, Vlad, I can get some intel for you. Start paying me millions of dollars."
Who knows?
As a spy, I mean, he could do this with any country.
Who knows if he hasn't been paid that already? And a lot of people say that China was behind a lot of some of this. A lot of the financing of Grucifer. Say China was getting a lot of her information.
There you go. I mean, why wouldn't you shop it around if you're this guy?
Right. So now. Grucifer has been extradited to America. He now this week arrived in America to be interviewed, shake down from the government.
I'm shocked he has the balls to come here. I mean,
no, they brought him here. Oh, then
he's been arrested.
Yeah, cuffed and stuffed.
Oh boy. So what are they going to do to him?
Who knows? He might go away like the movie producer for the Benghazi ordeal.
That guy is gone. You will never see. It's like the guy that was it Tiananmen Square?
Tiananmen Square.
The guy that stood in front of the tank.
Oh yeah, all of them. There were multiple tanks, all in a row. Multiple tanks in a row.
And he stood there right in front of him, and when the tank tried to turn and go around him, he sidestepped.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Man.
It's hysterical.
But you know what the Chinese emperor has said? Oh, don't worry, that guy's fine.
I believe you.
He's good. He's good to go.
Thumbs up.
It's like the monk that was on fire. Oh, he's fine. We treated him.
Wow.
No, he's dead.
He's dead. He's long gone. Long been smoked. So,
but he did that to himself, though.
Right. So on Sean Hannity's show, he had Judge Judy on. Or Judge Judy.
Hey, I would like
Oh,
to
my
see her be a political pundit. That would be pretty awesome.
That would be hysterical. I'd love to get her take. Now, this is Judge Janine. He had Judge Janine on, and this is just a really clipped couple of seconds of her take on Hillary, the email scandal, and what should happen to Hillary.
I think anyone who put the